Yeah, in this bitch. We in this motherfucker. In this bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wanna go right into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Here we go. The new epoch of the gods. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we are now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now. Being and becoming our own Grandmaster Mother. Being and becoming the great primordial dragon god son Kundalini flames. Now, whirling and ascending up our spine from our root chakra to our central heart chakra, all the way up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye. Our Lord Amenel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster magi, dragon god, son, king, and queen, igniting all the 72 chakras in our first eye. Our 72 primordial dragon god, son, kings, and queens. And all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, willing all of the powers, all of the forces, all of the elements, all of the essences, all of the dark matter, dark energy, and ethers ruling the entire omniverse, earth, physical and spiritual matrix and heavenlies within the absolute all into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our wills, objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force and active source of supernal light and energy that we're now using to unlock and activating all of our higher DNA, returning it all back online within us through the black dot within our first eye, universe B. Now, increasing the vibratory rate of our entire being up higher and higher and higher, changing every atom and subatomic particle of matter within our entire beingness back into a new primordial chaos to order being of higher manas, the master manifester of all realities and beingness, manifesting into our reality and beingness a new, greater mind connected to Atma, the Most High. Wow. Pulling in unlimited supernal light and energy from right out of Atma and into our higher and lower manas and on down into our physical reality, manifesting it here as all of the substance that we need now to take total control of our reality in this matrix through the knowledge of our true higher and lower inner self as we begin to learn how to magnetically reattaching all of our higher DNA back together again, empowered by the supernal light and energy of Atma, controlled through higher manas, to begin phasing in Universe B, the world to come, while phasing out Universe A, the world being and becoming destroyed now by raising the vibratory rate up so high until it begins awakening and igniting all of the divine sparks trapped in this matrix, one by one, all going supramental consciousness together, bypassing all of their humanity, completely destroying and disrupting this illusionary matrix at once, being and becoming pure supernal energy vibrating higher and higher and higher, being and becoming more massive than the sun until we suck the entire sun and solar system into our supernal darkness and supernal light, collapsing this entire space-time continuum into our supernal energy as it continues vibrating faster and faster and faster until it implodes and explodes, forming into universe be the world to come on a new earth expressed in its most grandest grace and beauty in a universe now built on the foundation and fabric of divine love, peace, justice, harmony, and balance as all of the souls come together to celebrate the great feast and grand festival of the new epoch of the gods through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra, Ashe. Crown chakra day libations. Aim the nothing. Aim soft, the infinite Ashe. Aim
Ashe.
soft, the infinite light Ashe. Adam
Ashe.
Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days. Ari Gampin, the big face, the primordial Christ. Ashe.
Ashe.
Adam Catman. Oh, Atsilus, emanations, the supernal universe manifesting as our holy divine infinite magical names. The cosmic Christ. Ashe. The great
Ashe.
abyss of gnosis, the crown of Zerampins, the small face, the indwelling Christ. Ashe.
Ashe.
Berea, form, creation, and paradise, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, dark archangels and demons within us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yetzirah, formation, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical orders of dark angels and demons. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, the universe of action, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly kingdom. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeshida, the holy, divine spark, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical will. Ashe. Heya, the holy, divine, infinite, magical life force, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical desire. Ashe.
Ashe.
Nishama, our holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly soul, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly thoughts. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ruach, our holy, divine, infinite, magical soul, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical word, spoken through us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Nephish, our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly soul, manifesting into realization, actualization, and form as we all now willing commanded to be. Ashe.
Ashe.
Kether, the supernal crown. Ashe.
Ashe.
Hakma, wisdom, the supernal father. Ashe.
Ashe.
Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother. Ashe.
Ashe.
Goth, great abyss of gnosis. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ased, mercy. Ashe. Gavara, judgment. Ashe. Tiferet, beauty. Ashe. Netzik, victory. Ashe. High,
Ashe.
glory. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yasad, foundation. Ashe. Malkut, the
Ashe.
kingdom. Ashe. The power,
Ashe.
force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the primordial cosmic flower constantly blooming the absolute all into being. Ashe.
Ashe. Isis Ashe. Empress Ashe. Destiny Ashe. Tyler Ashe. Order out of chaos beings Ashe. Cyrus Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
Beyond gods Ashe.
Ashe.
Isis Ashe.
Ashe.
Chronos Ashe.
Ashe.
To all the gods known and unknown, and all the goddesses known and unknown. Ashe.
Ashe. Holy Cinco de Mayo, Batman. I can hear the motherfuckers over here.
This LA, man. You gotta accept this in LA.
I know.
You gotta accept we in LA.
Yeah,
I mean,
not just LA.
let me correct it. We in the jurisdiction. We in the political jurisdiction.
Hmm.
Of the European occupation, known as Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I mean, when you correct it in that sense, you put it in its proper jurisprudence, understanding of
Well,
jurisprudence.
that's what it's going to be for now until we take back our national.
Well, that's part of it because
Mhm.
the language we have to familiarize, and we got to start talking to each other in that sense. Like we're not in LA, we in Morocco.
Yes,
We
yes,
in Morocco.
we're in
That
Morocco,
we in a part of Morocco that the British zone. It's called the British zone in
the
Morocco.
British zone. Yeah.
Yeah, the British zone.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and that's because we don't have our political mother, our political body um, operating.
Yeah. It's in a
We're
coma.
speaking, when we're speaking strictly social politics or social politically.
Hmm.
There's a connotation to it. There's a context to it. My bad, context to it, right?
Hmm.
Because foreign doesn't necessarily mean far away,
Hmm.
right? When in law, foreign doesn't mean far away, right?
Yeah.
Because as Moors, we're foreign to the United States,
Hmm.
right? Social
Yeah.
politically are jurors as a result of international politics going on,
Hmm.
right? Once because a part of restoration of the restoration of Moorish government and reversion to sovereignty post Lamini, is us learning.
And nationality.
Nationality is just the birthright. I mean, that's just the national consanguinity of the people, right?
But
This is
we can only
why we
attain
have the
that.
birthright of the political. We have the birthright of the political protections of Morocco. That's a birthright.
Yes. But we're just not exercising it.
Yes, so that's why we got to get into the exercising of it.
Let me ask you this: can we
Okay.
only exercise it only through the activation of our political mother? Can it be? Can it be activated or exercised outside, even while she's in a coma?
No.
What can we do while she's in the coma? What how what kind of maneuverance do we have? Or there is no really maneuverance. It's all just an
The
illusion.
only thing we can do is inferior remedies. Inferior remedies.
Oh.
You can apply inferior remedies that
Mm-hmm.
when you really get to the bottom of it, it's really not going. It's not the idea we want to. It's not the idea we want to perpetuate. We want to perpetuate us being self-sustainable, not working within the confounds of our subjugation. We don't want to work
Right.
within the confounds of our subjugation. We want to get out of our subjugation and have self-determination and be
Mm-hmm.
independent from that subjugated state.
But in order for that to happen, we'd have to be back on our own. They have to give us back all of our land.
No, 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 no. See, that's the inferior remedy what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Because all we have to do is reanimate Morocco through our political activity in it, being political active in
And
politically
then it's
active
all
in Morocco,
automatically our land.
the language, creating legislation, creating documents of power that
Mm-hmm.
are basically statements of our self-determination. International law says we have the right to self-determine, we have a right to the nationality, we have a right to these different things that the international community already recognizes. So it's
in their
like they already recognize this stuff. It's not something that we have to get recognition for. They already recognize it.
yeah, we just have to go through it through the proper due process.
Right. The proper process is post millennium.
Okay.
Restoration of Moorish sovereignty.
Hmm.
Restoration of Moorish government and reversion of Moorish sovereignty. This is the only way we can get to a plateau that's in a more superior status, a more
Yeah.
superior state. Because
Yeah,
right
where
now we're
no.
in an inferior state,
Hmm.
subjugation, right? And
Subjected to the subjected to any of their um, de facto governance or de facto laws, or
right.
like coming up with the lockdowns, for instance. That's even though they make it law, it doesn't have anything to do with real proper due process, does it?
No,
And
they
even though they can promote certain laws, if they violate, if they don't go about it the right way, then that law doesn't really apply, right?
well, there again. Um, this is I see it as evidence that the de jure. This is evidence that, like you said, it's de facto. It's de facto in nature, right?
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
they're violating their own rules, and because the general public are not aware of how how this government actually works, how the
Yeah.
Constitution works. You hear people saying stuff like, Trump is going to come in and do all this." Well, guess what? If you understand how the government works, he's on the executive branch of the government. You also have a legislative branch.
Hmm.
You also have a judicial branch of the
Hmm.
government. These branches of government balances the power of the inherent power that was given to them by the governed. This is
Hmm.
what people don't recognize. These are principles, and we see the video I showed to you earlier today, and they went into principles or legal principles of how the United States government is set up on legal principles like due process, equity, and things
Hmm.
of that nature. You're promised to a due process.
Yeah.
They can't, and that has nothing to do with being domestically bound in their jurisdiction. No, it has something to do with international law,
Hmm.
human rights.
Hmm.
So this is a pay grade above even the United States of America. They have to, but what happens is they put a lot of people in subjugated states by
Hmm.
referring to them as legal fictions that belong to them. Black belongs to the United States government. Right? Well, it belongs to the Spanish, to the Spain, and through
Hmm.
Negro,
Yeah.
and they wrote it into their legislation, right? When they referred to us as African Americans or blacks, right? That was a violation of our human rights.
Mm.
So this is
Yeah.
how they continue to subjugate us by
Yeah.
language, by us not learning language, not learning language to be self-determined, right?
So
Learning
by
language
them,
is to be self-determined. We
so by
determine who we
them,
are.
if they had a case against me and they refer to me as an Afro American, and I can come up with
That's
then I can.
deprivation of character. That's deprivation of character. That's also, if you already put it on the record that you are who you are, because that's a lot of things we have to do too. That's another inferior remedy. Remember, you was asking what are there other remedies besides restoring. Really, the ultimate remedy is resurrecting our political mother, Morocco. But
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people ain't on it, they try to look for inferior remedies, like put certain things on the record or who you are and all that stuff. They can't violate these records. They can't say you're not who you are. So self-determination comes into play. But the thing about that is they don't have to. They don't have to recognize in the particular state you in. This is why you put certain things on the record too. Make sure that you're not in any under any legal presumptions that
Mm-hmm.
they're making to bring you into the jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are under legal presumptions. You are presumed to be who they say you are until you come and put it on the record that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
We're under the legal presumption. That's a subjugation too. That's the part of the subjugation. The legal
Yeah, legal
presumption is part of the
presumption.
subjugation because as long as they look at you as black, African American, all these other titles are brands of slavery.
Yeah.
They're brands of slavery. So they don't have to
So
respect your human rights. You're not a human.
so
You're a
once
legal
you
fiction that we created. You're not a human.
damn,
So they don't have to.
but
It don't apply that legal that rights that are recognized on the international by the international community. They don't
yeah,
have to recognize it because you're not referring to yourself as your heritage national uh, title.
and then you have foundations built on black power,
Right.
and they know this.
You said what?
And
You have foundation built on what?
black power.
There's
The,
no such thing as that. Don't
are
exist.
yeah. Well,
These are fictions, man. Let's be real. These are
yeah.
social constructs that are that are pleasant, that make you feel good,
Mm-hmm.
symbolic gestures that
Mm-hmm.
really hold no weight.
Yeah, I'm black and I'm proud. Yeah.
They're symbolic gestures that really make you feel good. Oh yeah, I'm black. It don't hold no weight though, because if y'all really believe in that, why we don't got no unity?
Really?
Why
I
y'all
don't
don't
have
got
no
no unity then? Y'all black power, black power. Like I look, come on now. Don't ever anybody who ever is in um who have who have anything to say opposite of what I'm saying about the so-called black. I came out of that, so I'm
and black
I
power
came out of that
don't have a
so-called black
political.
power community, all that. I came out of that, so ain't nothing you can really tell me about that.
Does black power have a political mother?
Ah, hell the fuck! I put a post up the other day. I was like, I put up a post up the other day. I say, black people are not so-called black people are not protected under any laws, domestic or international.
Mm-mm.
Why? Because they don't exist. They're a legal fiction.
But they want to be black. They
Right.
want to
Laws are meant to protect human beings, flesh and blood beings, human beings, right?
be. Yeah.
Black people are not breathing human beings. They're not.
Mm.
They're a legal fiction.
Oh shit! Of course, and I did.
Because as long as you keep calling yourself black, you saying I'm a legal fiction. I don't exist. I don't need. This is why y'all keep on fighting for y'all rights to be respected because you, you never. It's called civil little mortus. Look up what stuff I'm saying sometimes, and maybe you'll
and
catch up. But at the end of the
and their
day,
response, but what's funny is their response to that is "Oops, upside your head, nigga."
that was an idiot response. The hell?
Meaning,
The hell you mean by that?
police beating up motherfuckers or black people getting, fucked over by the law and nothing happens. I mean, that's what I mean. Oops, we can go oops upside your head and there's nothing you can do about it based on this
Do
principle
you?
that you.
What was the precedence of the Dred Scott case, brother? Do you know?
Oh, the
These
one,
niggas always act like they so deep.
yeah.
Oh, the Dred Scott case, and What was the precedence of it? Did y'all even read the opinions of the damn judge when he addressed it from his understanding of jurisprudence?
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody in our community ever addressed it based on understanding of jurisprudence.
Yeah.
Right? What was the precedence of it? The precedence of the whole case was slavery only existed in the plantation, on where slavery was sanctioned by the
Mm-hmm.
federal government.
Yes.
It was sanctioned by the federal government. So all of y'all are properties of that plantation based on you never made a proclamation or a proclamation on the record that I'm not. You never said, you never told them, y'all saying we're slaves, y'all saying we're black, y'all saying no, we're not. We're not these things. If
Yeah.
anything, we're the Indians, and that's a misnomer any too. That
Mm-hmm.
puts you in subjugation too. So, but I'm saying that's a higher status than goddamn black,
Yeah. At least they gave them some land.
right? Because they have a thing called free Indian land, because you know
Yeah.
how they substitute more for Indian because they wanted to subjugate us more, because under the title more we had the protections of the treaties,
Mm-hmm. So
right?
they couldn't fuck with that.
They couldn't. That's above their pay grade.
Uh-huh.
The
Because that
United States
was,
of America. Once we get to this level, we're above of the United States of America. Once we
yeah.
once we the post millennium,
Mm-hmm.
the restoration of Moorish
Restoration.
sovereignty, or not
Mm-hmm.
the restoration of Moorish government and the reversion of Moorish sovereignty. Man,
Mm-hmm.
we don't address. We don't go to the United States for nothing.
Nothing.
Except we put them on. We put certain things. Our government will have probably a government to government relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About it, and
Mm-hmm.
all our government will be doing is making them adhere to what they had already agreed to in the treaties.
And then, and then if they do, once they and they go along with that, then that means they're in major debt with us.
Well, they made a prediction. They made a prediction on. I mean, what's that? What's that AI that people be doing?
Well,
That AI will people be asking questions all the time.
Alexia.
Right. They asked about what's going to happen on December 1930. I mean 2030,
Yeah.
December something 2030, and they
Mm-hmm.
said the United States will cease to exist at that time.
Mm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it it kind of the spirit kind of woke me up on that, and it was like that was like a spiritual revelation to me, because that's just about enough time for the restoration of Moore's government.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, once we do it and we put them under the stipulations of the treaty,
Mm-hmm.
then they're gonna have to back. They're gonna have to pay the back taxes. They were supposed to pay taxes while they were over here.
Mm.
These are things that people don't even recognize in the treaties because people ain't reading the treaties. They're supposed to pay us taxes while they over here,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're
Yes.
supposed to only occupy a certain portion of the land,
Yeah.
right?
And they violated all of that shit.
Right, because we have given them leeway within their stipulations, because we fell out of order. We fell out of
We
government.
degenerate. Yeah, we
When we
degenerated.
when we fall out of government, there was no mechanism set up to counter all of these different violations, they were, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't considered a violation because the government is like, because that's a stipulation in the, I forgot what treaty was, but there was a stipulation that the Moorish government has to be in operation in order for things to be. We're in like a lot of people say they're violating the treaties. No,
Mm-hmm.
we're actually violating the treaty because we don't have a government set up,
Yeah,
right?
that part true. Yeah, we have to
We are
focus.
violating because this is the only way we can actually make assert the treaties is through a Moorish government.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll put that all that in knowledge together for next week, and I'll actually go down the line of the treaties because I did like a lot of research on it, and I was going into the certain treaties that are pivotal treaties to this jurisprudence, this ancient jurisprudence of the pre-existing sovereignty of Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of research, so I'm putting together like a whole lecture, like to
Mm-hmm.
explain the ancient extraterritorial jurisdiction of Morocco.
Oh, I love to hear that. That's something we all need to know.
Right, because it's like it's been scattered. The knowledge is there. It's
Mm-hmm.
just been scattered in our mind because we're thinking connotatively,
Yeah.
right? And the language has been we don't have an appreciation for the morphology of language and stuff and how language became this connotation that we're speaking today, how to become this and how they buried ancient knowledge through the connotation of not this is another understanding of how they have buried the sacred mother knowledge and the sacred knowledge of the ancient world through language.
Yeah. Through language. Damn. Through language, they pretty much conquered us. Well, no, they didn't conquer. We like you said, we fell off because we degenerated. So they were able to use language to get themselves in the position that they're in.
Right. I tell my people all the time because they think I'll be caught up on semantics and things of that nature. And I'm like, the European whooped our ass with semantics.
Yeah.
We in subjugation as a result of semantics.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you got to understand the power of thoughts, words, and your existence, how it affects your life.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts and your words, which are generated with words, are you know what I'm saying? They
Their
come to life
vibration.
with words. Your thoughts come to life with words. So if your whole existence is based in your interaction with the natural world and your thoughts, look at how much that would affect your existence if someone has controlled the words
Mm-hmm.
from which the language and the thoughts are generated are brought into life through the words. We got to master the words. We have to gain a better appreciation for words, the morphology of words, etymology.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get. I was having a debate with the brothers the other day, man. They were trying to make it seem like etymology is irrelevant. We don't need it. I'm like, man,
Really?
listen.
These
With
dumb
the
niggas.
fact that you're saying that, right,
Yeah.
shows that they have a hold on you, your not only your psyche but on your spirit. They have a hold on
Mm-hmm.
your spirit right now
Yeah.
because if you're saying that what we're using as tools to break down and go in and dig out the innate nature of our spirits and our inner DNA, which is through
Mm-hmm.
the language. You got to understand how much the language activates when we go into the deeper understanding of the vibrational nature of language and how these are different tones that activate certain aspects of the DNA.
This is all after the Tower of Babel, because before the Tower of Babel, we were using communicating mentally.
That's true. We fail a level when we start communicating verbally. We fail a level. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it still doesn't make my point relevant. I mean, irrelevant that
No, it
it's
doesn't.
still
We see.
vibrations,
Mm-hmm.
and the effect of our reality by these different tones and vibrations. We can even go into spell casting and and, and all type of manifestations of magic and things of that nature. Is all based in the language.
In thoughts,
Notice,
words.
notice most magical spells are in ancient classical Latin,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or in ancient classical Latin. Those magical words are Latin in nature. Latin is just Moorish, another Moorish language. You know that, right? That's a Moorish language. And it is the foundation of every European language, from
Mm-hmm.
English to Spanish
Italian,
to
Italian.
all of the different other languages. The foundation of it is Latin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be mindful of this and stop allowing these people to have an advantage over us because they are accessing sacred knowledge. They're accessing and they're taking advantage of this sacred knowledge, man. We have to really be understanding of the fact that we are the progenitors of all culture.
We have to become our own secret society, because the masses not going to get it.
Never,
You have to,
never.
yeah.
It's not for them to get. That's the point.
No.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not for them to get their background.
Yeah.
Now,
So
I'm not. That's why I was just talking about a long time ago. I've a long time ago gave up on trying to save humanity.
oh,
It's not about that.
no.
It's about trying to raise the vibratory rate of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And it
It's
only
about
take a
it's
few of
about
us.
it's about opening up latent DNA within humanity,
Revealing to humanity its true identity, its true divinity. But
which is a monster.
that's what, yeah, and that's what supposedly the Jesus or the Christ mission wasn't to save the world, wasn't to forgive man of his sins. It was to reveal to man his, his true identity, his true place, that he has a divine
He tried.
spark
He
that
tried
can.
to tell humans that look what I can do. You can do it too. That's all he was saying.
Yeah,
Look what I can do. You
yeah,
can do it too.
yeah. And
Raise
now
your
that you
vibration.
he can surpass me.
He was telling them to raise their vibration, man.
Yeah.
Raise your
Mm-hmm.
vibration. Because
Raise your
look at
vibration.
nobody even catching it, right? So because they
Mm-hmm.
wanna keep it in a mystery. I mean, not a mystery, a historic sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? And not
Yeah.
even delving into the allegory, the
The
symbolic,
esoteric meaning,
science,
the
esoteric, occult
the inner
understanding,
meaning. Mm-hmm.
right? Which is
Yes.
nothing more than activating the inner development, which is an inner journey. This is all a spiritual development. This is all a soul development.
But
This is
like you
why
say,
people keep on putting emphasis on this physical experience, and that's your problem.
but that's a part of us too. That's the demiurge. And the demiurge is a part of.
See, you saying that as if you're no. I'm not denying it's a part of us. the thing about it is you have to transcend it, and it you can't be a slave to it. You have to
No, I'm
master
not
over it,
being the
or it
slave
will
to it.
master over you. That's
I
my whole
understand,
point.
but I'm just talking about understanding what it is, who we are. I mean, part of us is part demiurge, and part of us is part aeon, part archon, and part aeon. The aeon part is the divine spark. The archon part is the physical part of us, the ego.
Okay, which you must conquer and master over, or it will master over you.
Yeah. And see, and all of this came out of the Great Mother, because she was the one that had the first. It was whatever was going on inside of her. It was reflected in the child that she brought into existence. That was Yaldabaoth.
Right.
Hmm. And so she whatever she didn't do it. She didn't go about it the proper way, and it created this thing that was necessary to happen, because unless Yaldabaoth was formed, then the divine spark wouldn't have had a chance to go through this experience that it's going through, to grow and become something great, and reach its great heights, and return back. Are we to return back to the pleroma, or are we going to bring the pleroma down, turn this into the pleroma? God damn, they cutting up over there, man.
What the hell is the pleroma, man?
The fullness. The pleroma is a multiverse. It's like a multiverse. It's a multi-universe composed. It's 12 universes, and each universe is represent one of the 12 aeons.
The pleroma is the nature of the nature of reality itself.
Well, the pleroma, with all realities that was, that is, and ever to be, already exist in the pleroma.
Okay.
It's okay. So it's the uncreated universe. It's the zero. It's on the negative side of the 0 point.
I
Or the
think I think you're explaining my concept of the not the multiverse, but the multi-potentiality verse.
okay, yeah,
Because like you said, put when it's potential, that means it's all of the force material there to create it, but it hasn't been created. It's potential. There's a potential that it can be created though. So
mm-hmm.
and that's based on um, these multi-layered decision-making processes that, and most of us are making it at a lower level because most of us are making decisions based on lower level desires. That's why
Well,
I'm saying the mastery. If you're not, this is what I'm saying. It's like you have to vibrate above the heart chakra. Because if you vibrate anything lower than the heart chakra, you are
yeah,
subjugated. You are subjugated to your lower self desires. You are subjugated to all of the stuff that is a part of that world,
yeah.
right?
That's the arc. That's the demiurge.
So you have to vibrate above the heart chakra. This is what Jesus. This is
Mhm.
also what Jesus was talking about because if you see his symbolism, his heart chakra was a flame, and his crown
Mhm.
chakra was a flame.
Yeah, but you also,
So when you vibrate above the heart chakra, this is also the center of the unit. You become the center of your cipher, which is a multiverse within a multiverse within a multiverse. The will within the will concept and all that, right? But
hmm
you become the center of it. right? When you master, this is why I keep on repeating, master it. It don't matter if it's a part of you, if you are subjected to it, then if you are it now because you are energy. So you become what you allow yourself to get the free will. You become what you allow yourself to be based on, like I was just talking about, the decision. And you can only make decisions based on the amount of knowledge your opportunities. Your opportunities are only as vast as your knowledge.
Yeah, and
Okay, let's even go
experience
further. Your potentiality is only as vast as your knowledge. Because you
and
say I'm not
experience.
talking about the multi-potentiality reality. This is a
Hmm.
step outside of the subjugation of a multi-dimensional reality that's subjugated to the demiurge.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're in a multi-dimensional reality, but you
Yeah,
subject to the demiurge.
yeah, yeah. Even okay, if the physical plane, the etheric plane, the astral plane, which is the emotional plane, and the lower mental plane, that's all ran by the demiurge.
So that's
You
why you must master these planes,
you must met.
right?
So in
Because
other words,
once you master them, like if you
hmm
are sub, if you are a slave to your emotional, your lower self desires, sex, emotions, all that shit. You open
and
your
not
up to
only
these
that,
spirits, these lower level spirits. You open yourself up to these lower level spirits. You open up yourself to these lower level demons that
hmm
possess you because you haven't mastered that part of yourself.
and then you got the geniuses that are working on the lower mental level that is above the ones that are trapped in the emotional level and physical level. Okay, he's still he's like the real smart guy, the Elon Musk, or you know, but he's functioning on the lower mental level, and that's
Right.
ran
No,
by the
no, no. This is a spiritual thing that I'm speaking about. It mental is just mental is just a master. You have to master because the spirit is above the mental realm, or they're bleeding in. They're
well,
married to each other.
that's called
They're
Atman.
married to each other in some sense. But there are
Yeah,
two
but
realms. The mental realm is how you
I'm talking about the
navigate
lower
the
mental
spirit realm.
realm, the higher mental realm. See, the higher mental realm is called manas. That's the seat of the soul, the causal body. But below that is the lower mental realm, and then
And the
the
lower mental
emotional.
realm is where all these collective consciousness, right? These collective
Mhm,
consciousness are subjected to those who are psychic hacks out here, right? A lot of
yeah.
people are coming into victimization under psychic hacks because you're open yourself up in the collective consciousness. You're vulnerable in the collective consciousness. You have to
Yeah.
master your mind because then these entities can come in and out if they please.
hmm Yeah.
Period.
You become a portal because each one of us is pretty much like a portal.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
we are the multiverse. We are a representation of the multiverse or the multi-potentiality verse. We just a manifestation of it.
But
So
through the
all of these
divine spark.
entities, they don't exist somewhere outside of us. They exist inside of us. These potential entities, these worlds that don't exist, that these worlds that have come about, they all
Mhm.
exist in us.
They exist within us. Within us is an eternity, an infinity. Each
Right.
one of us. Yeah.
My theory is there is no outer space. There is no outside of us.
hmm
Everything is nothing more than a fragment of something that has been manifested from the ethers, coming
But
from the higher on down. This is why government is important because government is an example of you taking heavenly, spiritual, reality and bringing it down,
Mm-hmm.
and you looking at everything down here and imitating it to that energy, because it's similar to kind of like an example. A good example I can give you is feng shui, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, feng shui. If you understand feng shui and how it works, right, there are the flow of energy everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Feng shui allows you to put things in places in a manner that allow that flow to go naturally. Right now, people got their household set up, and you don't understand there's a flow and a vibration of your own household too. If you set it up in a certain way, you will harmonize the flow of your household.
Yeah.
This is
You
what
can.
feng shui is. Well, guess what? Is the same thing. How the nature of how the energies of your existence
Mm-hmm.
operate in that sense too. So if you got a most people have damn flows, they have sporadic flows, and they you gotta do this maintenance. This is I believe it's this is what the shadow work is for,
Yeah.
right? Because your spiritual energies are in turmoil. You have to bring your spiritual energy. This is where you get all of these people who are split personality. They have that's not a bad thing. It's not a and it, when you're dealing with humanity, they might deem it as some psychological disorder. But people
Mm-hmm.
who are schizo, they are just special in tune people, and they need to kind of have a ritual or some type of therapy from where they can handle all of these different. They're just tuned in at a greater level than most, man, and they can hear all of these different entities in the ethers and the non-existent existence, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all it is. People who are schizophrenic, right? These are just
Mm-hmm.
other special people who have special access to the spirit world.
Oh, them people can be very helpful in like seances or rituals because they can be portals to help bring shit over.
Right. I mean, they have access to that world directly. They have it's always open for them. It's not never like we are in a state where I'm sleep. When I'm sleep, and I woke. I woke. You can turn it on and off in your head. They can't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They can't. You feel me?
Yeah.
Right? Which is this is when I'm talking about psychological self mastery. Is the psychic realm is the most powerful training you must do, and because this is how you cultivate your spiritual energy is with your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You cultivate your spiritual energies with your mind. You can't do it any other way. This is why they created archetypes that held the energy, these spiritual energies within these archetypes. Then
Mm-hmm.
you compartmentalize in your head, and you see it's a formula when you put
Mm-hmm.
certain entities and deities in certain patterns. This is why you see how in Egypt, right? They will
Mm-hmm.
have certain deities together. That's a formula.
Yeah.
Or they will have certain I think they call them surahs, where they had a circle and they had these different symbols in them. Those are
Mm-hmm.
formulas, spiritual formulas. they they can have physical applications too, but they were mostly meant to be symbolism to open up latent DNA.
It was, and they were remembering everything that they were prior to their decline. They knew that they were on it. You know, we were on a decline, and we were going to forget all this shit. So they had their mystery schools set up. They left all these. That was what Kemet was set up for anyway.
Yeah, because yeah, you explained, we was in a decline.
Yeah.
We was in a
So
decline during Egypt.
you
That's what a lot of people have never really considered that. Like, yeah, Egypt was a great civilization and they had powerful sciences, but you got to realize that was like the last of of us having that access to that knowledge, and they had to make it. They had to see Egypt had a good important duty in our spiritual evolution because
Yeah.
they were in charge of making sure that information, that knowledge gets sent down to us now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So we can ascend with it and go right back into that. Use those archetypes to help us manifest the things that we're supposed to be manifesting on this
Now,
event.
and Chancellor was it Chancellor Williams' book, The Destruction of African Civilization? I think it's Chancellor Williams.
Okay.
I might be mistaken, but the Destruction of African Civilization talks about how, or was it the Stolen Legacy? No, it was Stolen Legacy. Stolen Legacy. They talked about how the Moors were the custodians of Egyptian knowledge, right? Our Kemetic knowledge, right? And it all clicked to me in the spirit because I don't really go by what the scholars and their connection. I go by what the spirit telling me and shit, and it always never leaves me wrong, right? So I was like, oh, okay, this is the connection, man. Mind you, I went through damn near every school of thought, bro. Every one. I'm talking about thoroughly. You know what I'm saying? So from 5%ers to goddamn Nation of Islam to Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? The Black Power movement, the occult, all of those schools of thought. I've been through them schools, bro. So I can connect the dots at a greater level because I went through those schools, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at the connection between Egypt and the Moors. God damn, okay. Egypt was a part of the Moorish Empire. That was a continuation of, because what we're calling Egypt today was actually Kemet, but they ruled the planet at the time. That was the throne of civilization. Not only through knowledge, but Egypt had extraterritorial jurisdiction too, meaning they expanded beyond that landmass that they were on. Right?
Yeah.
Well, continuation of that rulership and that extraterritorial was more Morocco. Right? It continued through Morocco. So we're looking at ancient world politics, where ancient world politics playing out today through us resurrecting it in our mind and then being active in that political jurisdiction today, right now, present 2020, so-called 2024. Right?
Yeah.
Once we're literally resurrecting an ancient pre-existing sovereign power that ruled the damn planet, man. Think about this shit.
That's some bad shit.
And the thing about it is, the whole world already recognizes it. That's the problem with us, is that we don't recognize it. So if we the progenitors and mothers and fathers of civilization and we don't recognize ourselves, why do our children have to recognize us?
They'll just assume our role.
Exactly. They would
They'll
rather
just be
be in
the
the
parent.
position of,
They'll be the parent and make us the kid.
yes, they are. That's what they've done, brother.
Yeah.
So-called black people are perpetual children.
Yeah.
You will rarely hear any of them wanting to take self-determination and independence and self-sustainability amongst ourselves. We continue And this is a sellout. You mind you,
Mm-hmm.
the civil rights movement,
Yeah.
integration, that was
Mm-hmm.
the biggest sellout of our people because we owned more. We were more. We had more power prior to this.
Yeah.
We
I know.
owned more, and we had
Yeah.
more political power prior to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The black bourgeoisie and these Negroes
Yeah.
are the ones that sold us out to this day. All of y'all
Yep.
Negro leader, all y'all black leaders
Mm-hmm.
continue to refer to you as black. They know they're selling you out. I was listening to a young brother he's bragging about how because amongst our people all going to college is a bragging statement, a social thing. It's not, oh, let me go to college and bring that knowledge to my community and build up my community. No, it's a social status. So all these niggas, all they think their credibility comes from their degrees, and they start laying out all their degrees, and I got a degree, and that means nothing in the scheme of things, man. Think
No,
about it.
I went to the University of Hard motherfucking Knocks. Okay.
Look, people who don't even go through that and actually are studiers, they're more
Mm-hmm.
genuine than you because you went through all that going into debt, going through all of those indoctrination because it's another
Yeah,
indoctrination in college
you just
unless you
following a
take your education
certain
in your own
curriculum.
hand and start going to those elective class that they none of them go to the elective class.
No.
These people come out of college dumber than they was when they went into college. Stop it.
Yeah.
And in
Because
more debt.
mm-hmm.
You understand me? So
Yeah.
the black bourgeois thing, which make them think they have they are the rulers by default of the so-called black community, right? Because they're the
And,
so-called
and
most
not only
educated,
that,
the talented tenth thing. Well, the talented tenth look down at us, and they think, oh, just because they're the graduates in college, and they're the leaders of us. They just assume leadership upon among us, bro. We never gave them leadership.
and not only that, but they become masters of the connotative language that
Exactly. That's the point.
yeah, they become masters of the connotative language.
My thing is, how in the hell are y'all bragging about? That was my whole. That was thank you for putting me back on because that was my whole point. Because how the
Hmm.
hell y'all going to college, to all these degrees, but
Hmm.
don't recognize you're speaking connotatively by referring to your not recognizing that this is a basic grammar lesson. Not only that, but this is basic jurisprudence as it pertains to nationality. Why? My only question to any so-called black leader is why everybody else got a nationality except so-called black people?
Yeah. Well,
I
everybody
want to
got
hear your answer to that. If you can't answer that, you not my. I will never follow you, and I will advise anybody who refer to that motherfucker as a black leader.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Think again, reevaluate him, criticize him, because at the end of the day, why is everybody here got a nationality except us? That's the only one. I don't want to hear everything. I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, the white man did that, and they done taken out our rights. Oh, Trump about to come in and give the police all these sanctions. Okay, why everybody here got a nationality except us? That's only give. That's the most. That's way more critical than all that bullshit y'all done deemed as the critical issue and shit right now.
Yeah,
Why
I know.
are y'all were not operating under national standards and everybody else is? That's the major question. Everybody else have got a nationality.
The only thing, the only thing they got to say is that, duh, wait, they go to it. Wait, they go to it. They don't have nothing to say. There's nothing smart to say about
I
that.
done
Other
literally
than,
heard people say, "Oh, we the most ancient people, so we the oldest people, so we don't need a nationality." That's dumb.
oh,
That's
wait, they
dumb,
go
bro.
to it. Wait, they go to it. Damn, man. That's because they don't want to do what it takes. They don't. They want everything given to them. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay the price. They don't want to go out there and get their hands dirty. They want to. I don't know. They just want to do what's trendy. Shit.
The Nation of
I'm,
Islam, the Nation of Islam sold us out too, bro.
yeah.
I'm just being real, man. Because they have privy, they were very privy to Noble Drew Ali and Elijah Muhammad. Allegedly, was a more scientific member.
Mm,
Allegedly, I don't know
mm,
that for sure, but I know they were around the same time that the Moore Scientific was around in
mm-hmm,
Chicago and Detroit and then all these meccas, these main areas. Nigga,
mm-hmm.
they was by each other's side. You are more scientific cats on the podium, and then you had the Nation of Islam on their podium. They knew each other. They knew of each other.
Who was funding them?
So my thing is, hold up. So y'all have access to this knowledge, and y'all don't even deny it. You will never hear none of them deny it, right? Brother
Okay.
Ben, brother, what's his name? Brother Ben. He's a Nation of Islam member that's basically a youth spokesperson for the Nation of Islam today.
Mm-hmm.
And all they can do is make jokes about this issue of us referring to ourselves as black, acting like it's a non-issue. Okay, why in the hell, if it's a non-issue, do y'all continue to operate in an inferior mindset as a result of you referring to yourself as black? Why? Because you can't attach black to no greatness except the pseudo. Oh, these are black. Oh, those are black people in the past. No, they were not. You cannot apply retroactively a group or a term that had been applied upon a people in an earlier time period than it was applied to those people in that. You can't say Moors were black people. No, they wasn't, because they wasn't that designation that wasn't it hadn't
That
existed yet.
wasn't they didn't that
It
wasn't part of
hadn't
their
existed yet,
connotative language.
right?
they,
It didn't come into play until the Portuguese
mm-hmm,
started referring to dark skinned people as Negroes or nigger,
mm-hmm.
right? And nigger is nothing more than a word that refers to an inanimate object, right? Which is their justification for enslaving you. You have no rights under human law because you're not a human.
Mm.
You're a creation that we can do whatever the hell we want to do to you based on that.
You're pretty much like an animal, a livestock. You're livestock.
Your livestock. Yes. And we
Cattle.
can prove this stuff. They keep on the United States of America refers to dark melanated people as everything except Moor.
Mm-hmm.
They will
Because
never
if it
refer to us as a Moor. Why?
because
Because now the treaty
the
comes
trees
into
coming
play.
activate. Yeah, that activate. They can't go nowhere near that.
No, they
So
can't refer to us as Moors because now
mm-mm.
the treaties come into play.
Mm-hmm.
We're not subject to the legislation that they write and write us into their legislation through civil rights and the Civil Rights Act and the Voters' Right Act and the
None of that shit
14th and
applies
13th
to us.
Amendment.
None of that shit applies anymore.
Right. Because even how they even languished the 14th Amendment where they abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, right?
Yeah.
First of all, that they didn't have to pass that legislation for us already to be free, bro. We was already free.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to pass that legislation. Any Negro who tells you that the 14th Amendment got us free,
Yeah.
they a sellout. Because if anything, I don't care if you wasn't claiming it.
So the
You were
14th
free.
Amendment, but it's only describing cattle. It's cattle.
Say it
It's
again.
that Fourth Amendment is only describing the freedom is given to that fictional being.
You're making my point.
Yeah.
So it really didn't apply to us, but a lot of Negroes sold us out to make it appear like that was an action or legislation, a legislative act that freed us.
Yeah,
It
that's
didn't
them
free us.
counterfeit spirits.
All of these they talk about them. This is why I don't celebrate this is why I don't celebrate
June 19th, Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, right? Because y'all are giving power to these motherfuckers that they ever had the power to free us.
Mm-hmm.
We were free already.
Mm-hmm. They were subjugated to
We
us.
were we were we were we were we were actually POWs.
Mm-hmm.
They were taking us
Prisoners
off
of
of
war.
free, what they were calling it was see, let's even go deeper, brother. What they were calling, do y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like not nothing that I'm making up right now.
So they were kidnapping us.
Do you recognize the history of it being the plantation, areas of the land that was sanctioned by federal law under slavery, right? They were called the plantations. Anything outside of the plantation was called what?
Mm,
Do you know?
no, I don't.
Free
Tell.
Indian land.
Free Indian land. Okay.
I'm not saying nothing. You can't go look up your goddamn self.
Damn.
There was either
Okay.
a plantation or free Indian land, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, the United States of America was able to spread based on they were granted the right to be in the British zone according to the Treaty of Paris. That's what gave them their so-called independence. It wasn't that they won the war and oh no, the fuck out of here. What
Mm-hmm.
happened was Britain granted them certain. So what they did, this is what happened. This is really what happened was they abandoned their mother in Britain and went to
Mm-hmm.
war with their mother, called it the Revolutionary War, right?
Yeah.
So they wasn't under the protection that they were under when they were in the colonies. They abandoned the colonies, so they wasn't under the protection. Who protection they was under at that time? They was under the protection. Go read the Lancaster Treaty, Lancaster
Mm-hmm.
Treaty.
Mm-hmm.
Go read the Camp Holmes Treaty. They were under
Mm-hmm.
the protection of the Moors,
Mm.
right? The Lenape Moors that
Mm-hmm.
allowed them to, because the Britain was in Spain. The Lenape Moors occupied that area between Canada and in parts of what we're referring to the United States of America today.
The
That
Pacific Northwest.
that was a river that was going back. The British were able to have access to that area or whatever because they had treaties with the Indian nations in Canada. So the United States was able to go. Their whole military strategy was based on treaty that they had with the indigenous Moors of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the Lenape Moors, the Camp Holmes Treaty, and the Lancaster Treaty.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the treaty that they did when they abandoned their political mother, Britain. They had to have protections from us, meaning we gave them asylum at the time. They're still under those. They're still under that treaty too.
Mm.
They're under asylum of the Moors but when they decided to go back to their mother,
Yeah.
right? The
Mm-hmm.
when they told us they won the Revolutionary War and then their mothers freed them. No, that's not what happened. They granted them a recognition by the crown, the sovereign,
Mm-hmm.
as sovereign nation. They were recognized as that. They wouldn't. They were recognized. Read the
They
treaty.
weren't, they weren't granted. Huh?
Treaty of Paris. They
Mm-hmm.
were recognized as sovereign, independent states
Okay.
by the sovereign, and that was only for the political
13.
zone, the British political zone. Mind you,
Oh,
guess what? They're the Spanish political zone. Where do you think the Spain political zone is?
Louisiana.
Louisiana and other parts of Mexico too, even further down south. That
Mm-hmm.
was all Spanish political jurisdiction. I mean, political
Yeah.
zones.
British at the south, the
You have
British at the north.
France political zone. Mind you, that area that they sold that to Spain, if I'm mistaken, the Louisiana Churchill purchase,
Louisiana
which was
purchase.
another pseudo contractual illegal transaction
Mm-hmm.
because they had some indigenous people who sold the greater indigenous people out. That's the only problem we had here, man. Is you had
Mm-hmm.
indigenous people here that were here selling out
Mm-hmm.
other indigenous people.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
European would not be able to get foothold in this land if it wasn't for that.
Mm-hmm. Our own inner treachery.
So look at an example of that is the damn Indian Act, the damn um, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the fact that these Indians are going to the United States of America so they can give them their land back. That's bullshit. That's not the order. That's not the order from which the hierarchy operates. The jurisprudence, the jurist hierarchy operates. It was this is Morocco. That's the hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
This is Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
The Indians who wanted the superior position, they connected themselves from Morocco. In
They
that
did.
same treaty I just mentioned, the Camp Holmes Treaty,
Mm-hmm.
they were listed as associated bands. These are other Indian nations that were here. Then they're
Mm-hmm.
indigenous, right? But they're not autochthonous.
Mm-hmm.
Autochthonous and indigenous is two different connotations or two different contexts. The indigenous people, right, are people who have been here for thousands of years or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they may not be autochthonous because their ancestors, even though they have been here for thousands of years, had came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
We are autochthonous, meaning we didn't come from nowhere else. We didn't come from Africa. We didn't come
Mm-hmm.
from Africa. We didn't come from nowhere else. We've always been here.
Africa was attached to here at one point, kind of, wasn't it?
This is Northwest Africa when you deal with the global politics of the ancient world.
Mm-hmm.
This is Northwest Africa.
Mm-hmm.
This is why all of what y'all calling the knowledge and ancient science of Egypt, that just started over
Mm-hmm.
here. That just started over here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This is ancient Egypt over here,
Mm-hmm.
not over there.
Yeah, because some of the mounds and shit over here is old. It's way older than the ones over there. What about the
Right,
pyramids in Mexico?
right.
Do they predate the ones in Africa in Capelon in Kemet?
What?
The Mexican pyramids are pyramids that are now in the jurisdiction of Mexico.
If you go by the development. I'm not going by chronology at this, when you speak on that subject matter on what came first.
Hmm.
I'm looking at the developmental stages of pyramids, right?
Yeah.
They kind of it looks as if they perfected it when it got to Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
But the pyramids here are not as um, you know what I'm saying, structurally, aesthetically angled properly. They might be properly as it pertains to on the ley lines, and it's how it's perfectly set up, and its structural setup or whatever. But like I
Hmm.
said, it looks as if they perfected it in Egypt. That
Okay.
technology, that engineering, they perfected it in Egypt. So I look at that's how I can just I don't know for sure chronology wise,
Yeah.
but it
Hmm.
looked like these are older because these are the development ones over here.
Well, they got them all over the planet in Antarctica, China, everywhere. They're
And
everywhere.
that's another part of the history that no one wants to be mindful of, or especially in their indoctrination of the United States school system. They don't want you to be able to connect the dots in that respect, man.
No.
If pyramids are all over the planet, right?
Hmm.
That's an evidence of a global imperial government or imperial people.
Yeah.
They wasn't regional like we have been mindful, and that's kind of how like people will make us mindful. All these people are this was a global people.
They think they want us to be isolated. They want to isolate them.
They wasn't isolated. They will trade with each other. They were very much aware of each other.
The question is, how did they get around?
Listen, man. We think we advanced today, man. Stop it. Not advanced. This shit is primitive as fuck compared to the ancient world, bro.
Yeah, they were probably using the Earth gravitation. I mean, you know, just the ley lines to get around, all kind of shit. Open up portals.
That and that's what made them advance. They had a more in tune with nature thing that they were doing back then. We are totally out of tune with nature here. That's what
Yeah,
makes us. That's why we're not advanced as we think we are.
and now we're going to technology. We're trying to bypass that with technology. And the only thing technology is doing is, for first of all, not only is it making us dumber, but it's breaking us down psychologically, physiologically. The electromagnetic radiation and all that shit is just breaking us down.
Definitely is. And
Hmm.
Sophia Story, whatever her name for Sophia Story. Or I think her name is. I'm mangling her name, but her predictions are coming true,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Because we letting this technocratic leader, these motherfucking control freak technocratic lead us. Why do we?
Hmm.
How do we know? Dumb motherfuckers like Bill Gates, who has never innovated nothing. He stole what you call Microsoft from somebody else.
Mm. Hmm.
He have innovated nothing, right?
Yeah.
He has been put in a leadership position in leadership position of stuff that affects humanity and health in the future.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. That's an
Hmm.
example of how they're letting people who are supposedly innovating humanity through their technology, right?
Yeah.
And they just giving them leadership positions now. Like, nigga, you're not qualified to talk about no farming, global warming, all this other shit that you're involved in and you're supposed to be the leader of.
Yeah. Your shit. It's killing the environment, not.
Right. He's involved in all of these environmental suspect ventures where
Hmm.
you know he got that one where he's sending off these artificial bees and shit
Hmm.
to try to terraform the environment in some type of way. All his shit is based on terraforming, bro. The whole
Now,
planet
let's talk
through
about them
messing
drones.
with he's terraforming the whole planet by messing with certain things in the ecosystem because that's very sensitive. The ecosystem is very
He can throw
sensitive.
shit off balance. He can throw
Huh?
shit out of balance. He can throw shit out of balance.
They already
And
have, bro. These
so,
chemtrails, they
yeah,
have an agenda, bro. Their agenda is to terraform the planet in the interest of uh, their technocratic vision.
their technocratic um, metropolis or whatever the fuck they want. They
And
think they're
like you
going to get.
said, what is this? How is this benefiting humanity when you really think about it? We're getting dumber,
It's not. It's enslaving humanity.
right?
Yeah. It slaves.
Right, but they've led
It
us to
caused
believe that
humanity.
they're making advances, and they got all these big projects going on right now, right?
Yeah, what it's doing.
Like the
Yeah,
cloud. Research what the cloud is.
they try
Because
to make us think like we're advancing and evolving, but they're actually bottling up our evolution. They're just putting our evolution in a bottle.
they're attempting to control this transitional period of humanity and transition in a way that they come out on top when this shit all unfolds, which is not going to play out in the way that that's why they have to run all of these different scenarios. Oh, and the drones and all these, they have to run all these different things because they're scrambling to take some type of control over something that they can never grab, they can never contain. They will
Well,
never
the
be able to
drone. So what happens when them drones become unfriendly?
contain. When they what?
Become unfriendly.
Listen, American people, your government is turned against you already.
Hmm.
They are not for the American people. And you can tell by how they send in all this money in the interest of foreign interests that
Hmm.
have nothing to do with the American interests. That's evidence in itself.
They're
We
giving away all the
all
wealth.
type of problems here as Americans, and now one politician is interested in bringing the reason why Trump won is because he even is speaking to it, appearing to be trying to realign the interests of America back to the people.
Yeah.
Because every other politician has sold you out.
Yep.
They sold your ass out a long time ago to the
And tell
international interests.
and tell you straight out in front of you, and your ass will clap
Right.
and applaud.
They sold y'all out to the globalists
Hmm.
and the globalist interests.
With the damn near $40 trillion deficit. But
The
that's
question,
just
right. The
that's
question,
only the one you see. The one you don't see is 100 trillion.
right.
Yeah, the
The
black
question
book.
the American people need to ask themselves is what interest is of ours for them to all of these international ventures that American is on right now? What's the interest of why is that interest? Oh, the main thing people gonna say is cheaper oil.
It is cheap.
Serious? So
Cheaper.
all of these ventures where they're spilling billions of fucking dollars of your fucking, they're not only spending your tax dollars because your
Mm-hmm.
tax dollars ain't enough. They gotta get they gotta get loans
They're
from the
printing
international
money.
bankers. And
Mm-hmm.
guess who's co-suretide? Who's the collateral?
Yo,
They using your dumb ass for collateral, okay?
us, U.S.
So keep on playing, American people, because y'all playing.
Keep on wearing the red, white, and blue. Yeah,
Y'all
keep wearing
playing.
that pin.
Right, go ahead.
Keep wearing that pinstripe with the stars. Yeah, your ass gonna be liable for all this shit. So they can liquidate your ass anytime they want. They may have to liquidate some of the debt.
Let me tell you my prediction right now, brother.
Mm-hmm.
The people are vibrating on such a low level. They are totally oblivious and vulnerable. They don't recognize they've been sold out by the government and they already are under certain occupations and shit. The Chinese here occupying.
Mm-hmm.
They even saying Iran is here. And they bring that was some of the drones. They were saying some of the drones are Iranian and shit. And I'm like, how do these people get access at jurisdiction? And then the military and the people who are supposed to be the officials, right? They saying,
Yeah,
oh, it's above us.
yeah.
It's above
They
us.
they say they can't even they got weapons that can take down drones, and they have other drones that they can send up there to spy on them and possibly jam them. They said none of them drones can get a heat signature. Them drones that are up there, they don't have a heat signature.
This is some
So
new
that's a
technology.
technology.
Yeah, you're right. This is some new technology they introduced.
Yeah, this is some rogue shit. This is
And
some of that.
they said one of them crashed, right?
Hmm.
And so many people, independent people, want to find out because that's the only way we find out shit is from the independent media. People who own it, who actually there, go with their camera, they phone, and go film. That's the only real fucking news you're gonna get here now.
Yep, because if
Even
to
when
leave it
people
up
who
to
actually go to the site when it's going down, take pictures, right?
hmm
You remember the United States, the government is trying to ban that now too.
hmm
They try to pass legislation to stop. This is what Trump is doing right now. He's passed. He's predicted to pass legislation to regulate the media. Right. That's not only
hmm
talking about the big media. He's talking about media. Period. Internet. Because that's where the media is now.
Yeah.
Right. Big internet. Big media, cable media, all them. They're losing a
hmm
lot of money to internet media now.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? All the media that really are tuned into is on the internet now.
Not
Period.
only are they losing money, but they're losing influence.
And guess what? They're trying to demonize independent journalism from grassroots people who own the ground. They're trying to ban that. They're trying to make it seem like you can't even report something that's going on. So that's what they're doing with that drone. The drone crashed, and you got independent. They was shutting it down. You couldn't. They wasn't allowing them to get in there, get no pictures of it, none of that shit.
Hmm.
Why? Your government sold y'all ass out a long time ago. Okay, y'all better recognize this shit. They sold y'all out. This is this is this is evidence of the sellout. They sold y'all out. They let all of these people come over here. China got balloons, spy balloons and shit that they ain't shooting down.
Shit, they
Why did
got
it take them so long Like Homeland Security even said it's above my brain, it's above
Yeah.
me. How in the
Hmm.
hell is it above Homeland Security?
It's some globalist shit.
Then they want to deny the deep state. This looked like a deep state operation to me.
Yeah, it just don't have nothing to do with the regular state because the regular state is in a state of I don't know.
That's the regular state has been de facto for a long time. It has
Hmm.
not been de jure since the 1930s, if you ask me. Based on my historic understanding of it,
Hmm.
this government has been sold out over 100 years ago.
Maybe that's what it was set up for.
It was set up for that.
Yeah,
When you really break down the historical relevance of what we call the United States, it was
yeah,
nothing more than a continuation and a
of colonial
maintenance of European colonization.
and colonial rule.
European colonization on Moorish land,
Yeah.
right? Get
Especially
your last
this
word
week.
here, brother. We got to go.
Well, hey, Monday. That's December the 30th, the black moon. It's the night of the black moon. So
You said
get your
Monday?
ritual. Yep, the 30th. Wait, yeah, the 30th.
No, the 30th is not Monday.
Wait, no, not next Monday, but the Monday before New Year's Eve. So
Okay.
we have a week. We have a little time, but the black moon is coming. So trust me, the opposition are the people that want to stay in power, whose time is up. They're going to
Yeah.
use this energy to try to extend their rule, their rulership a little longer, at least to the goddamn end. But we don't. We have the powers in our hands, so we can take control and we can do the rituals. We can put the energy out there to dwarf anything they do and bring in the world that we intend for the world to be. We can bring in the new golden age, whether it's in this dimension or a higher dimension. We have the power now to bring in something that they cannot stop.
Right.
It's in our hands now. Let's bring the energy here that is going to overcome anything they put in front of us and just knock them the hell out. And we just flood over this reality like a goddamn tsunami and bring in a new golden age where built on harmony, justice, um, you know, um, divine love, peace, and turn this planet into a garden of Eden. But until then, there's going to have to be a lot of bloodshed. There's going to be destruction. But if we do the rituals, we'll be protected. We'll still be here when this shit is all over with. We'll still be left standing. And some of us may have to leave, but that energy will still be here. So we're it's on. It's on. After this black moon, everything changes. And it won't be another one for another 29 to 33 months. They don't come around every day. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, my last words are it's like we gotta recognize our power. I kind of say this every damn show. We gotta recognize our power, and I'm not talking about just individual. Our power is in our collective. right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What we can do as an individual, as a collective, we can do tenfold, hundredfold, thousandfold,
Yeah.
right?
Unlimited. Yeah.
So rituals can be accelerated, and you can do massive. We can do massive mantras together, and just do collective meditations together. We can do like how most people get on the internet, they do chats and shit. We
Mhm.
can do that in the psychic realm. You know that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, we can do a lot
We
of
can
things on the
decide
site.
one day, okay, what day we gonna do it on. We gonna and we all synchronize our minds to go into the psychic realm and talk to each other in the psychic realm in a private area of the psychic realm. And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We can block out all remote viewers
Mm-hmm.
that might want to come into to that chat room or that space.
Yeah, because all we have to do is put up certain entities to block their ass.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. We could do this. We could do a lot of things right now. A lot of these things are coming online to where we're more prone to be able to do these things if you're practicing them. It's like we're not bound by physics anymore. The physics
Yeah.
that we're not bound by physics anymore. We're not bound by what has been defined.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah.
not bound by these things anymore. This is
Mm-hmm.
this energy is ready for us to be is primed and ready for us to shape it into whatever the freak we wanted to shape it into. This is the multi-potential reality I was speaking about. It's not a multi-dimensional reality because the multi-dimensional reality is fixed already, right?
Mm-hmm.
These pocket world that have already been manifested, and they're just perpetually, eternally, in eternity, right?
Yeah.
But the multi-potential reality is the world that have not been created yet. They're
Oh, the
just
pleroma.
potential.
Okay, your version of the pleroma. I get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They haven't been
The
created yet.
uncreated. The uncreated.
That's a
And the only
state.
thing.
That's a state that we can go into where
Mm-hmm.
now we can counter. Because I don't think it's about countering these lower beings that we put in charge to for us to be able to rise because we have some type of adversary that we need to rise up against.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even they're not even it's not about them. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about them trying to
Yeah.
counter what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's not about countering what they're doing. I think we're mistaken by even thinking that way
Okay.
because what we're doing is on a higher vibration. What
Mm-hmm.
they're doing is on a lower vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're doing really doesn't even affect us. If you're looking at it from the human perspective, physically, oh yeah, it affects us. Okay, but you are not
Yeah.
their physical body.
Yeah. Yeah. So that means you have to go reconnect with the original spiritual. Like we have to connect, emerge our political mother. Well,
We
we have.
already, we already. Some of us are already. You remember how they said that there was going to be a shift in the time it was, I mean, a split in the time, and this is
Mm-hmm.
also correlating with those who will be left behind
Mm-hmm.
and those who will ascend to higher greatnesses. We've gone
Mm-hmm.
already. Those who are on that higher vibration, we're not in the same world vibrationally, spiritually. Think about
Right.
it when I'm saying.
I
We're not
know.
vibrationally in the same world as these people who decided on free will to exist in the lower vibration, and they only do it because they are they are undeveloped in their own self development. They're undeveloped in their
Hmm.
spiritual development. They're undeveloped in their emotional development.
That wasn't
A lot
important
of
to
fear,
them. They don't care
a
about
lot of
that.
fear, insecurities. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that are keeping you vibrating below your heart chakra. How do you vibrate above your heart chakra? I'm gonna give you a couple of examples how you vibrate above the heart chakra. Right.
Okay.
One way is to not be of the world and be of the world but not in the world.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Because those who are in the world, they're always being affected by grief. They're always being affected by guilt. They're always being affected by
Their emotions.
insecurity. They are being affected by when none of this never happened.
Hmm.
Continue to let it weigh on your heart, and now you solidifying that, and that's your reality. You're vibrating below the heart chakra. You're solidifying you're solidifying your lower self desire. You're solidifying. You're creating these demons. You're solidifying these errors in your thinking. You're solidifying these emotional disorders. You're solidifying them.
You're creating worlds.
So when you vibrate
Bad.
above the heart chakra, you recognize and are aware of the fact that these are just subjects of my higher development. These are just obstacles for me to get to my higher. They're subjects. They're not me. That's not who you are.
Hmm.
They're subjects to your greatness. Now, I'm not telling everybody to be on this. I'm not telling nobody I'm a leader. I'm teaching you nothing. I'm not, no. Because at the end of the day, the reason why I'm designed because I did a whole thorough inner development within inner. You gotta go in.
Yeah.
You gotta go within. That's a problem too. People don't go within.
Hmm.
They stay operating in the perceptual reality. Your perception is your trap from your
Yeah.
spiritual development, your energetic development, your whatever you see, touch, taste, all that is a trap. That is the all that
Just
is motherfucking prison. Your
guardian beings.
sensory perception is the prison. Okay,
Yeah, that's the tree of life. Tree of life is really the tree of death.
right.
The tree of
And
life is the physical world.
what I'm saying is, once we recognize that we are multi-potential reality beings, and that we are
Yes.
omnipresent, we exist here and there at the same time.
Hmm.
That awareness will allow you to not bring bring this much of yourself and solidify these areas of yourself, or bring this one. You're balancing yourself out. You're
Yeah.
able to reconcile the polarities, the far left extreme polarities with the far right extreme polarities of your own energy. You're able to reconcile them and bring them into a harmony within self. Remember, Judgment Day is the emergence of Ma'at in this cosmic awakening. That's Judgment Day. Ma'at is an aspect of your energy. It is an old, ancient cosmic energy that exists within us that's coming online right now. And the only judgment is your own judgment of yourself. With that, we are.
Okay. Well, good show.